Welcome back to the Noble Effect. It's Jeremiah, and today we're breaking down the Avengers Doomsday trailer. Finally, Marvel has dropped the new Avengers Doomsday trailer. This trailer was the same one that was shown at CinemaCon, I think with a little bit of added footage like the Loki scene, which we definitely will get into. But along with this trailer, they also dropped tickets. Tickets went live. They're on sale for premium formats for Infinity Vision. But man, this poster, when I saw this, it's just one of the best posters I've ever seen. Dr. Doom, you see the time, you see the date. Dr. Doom is looking at this poster. You see his mask is in his right hand. I'm speculating that is his wife and son that are probably now dead, thanks to someone who we will get into in just a little bit. But what a great poster. So excited for Robert Downey Jr.'s performance as Dr. Doom. Now, we have to talk about the opening. We see Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters here. And yeah, it's a eerie opening, a dark opening. We've seen pictures, videos inside the X Mansion before during the 4 teasers that were released with Avatar. And then it cuts to Professor Xavier, and it looks like our first view of an incursion. I think this is what an incursion is going to look like from afar. It's going to look like a world, an Earth kind of shattering. And then we see one of the most beautiful fights in this trailer, Shang-Chi versus Gambit. X-Men versus an Avenger. Gambit making his return after being in Deadpool and Wolverine. And Shang-Chi finally getting some love in an Avengers movie. And along with Gambit, we have to talk about the rest of the X-Men team. Cyclops will definitely be leading this team. He'll finally be the captain. He'll be, the one leading the X-Men, along with Mystique, Gambit, Nightcrawler, Beast, Professor X, and Magneto. Now, of course, I think we're due for some more surprises. I don't think this will be the only X-Men in the film, but right now, these are just the ones being advertised. Okay, let's speculate just for a minute here. The 3 main universes that we're going to see in Avengers Doomsday will be Earth 616, which is our main MCU. We'll see Earth 10005, which is the Fox, Deadpool, Wolverine universe. And we'll see Earth 828, which is the Fantastic Four universe. Now, I believe the Fantastic Four will be traveling from their universe to Earth 616. And that leads us to this shot right here, which everybody's pretty much in. You see the Fantastic Four, you see the new Avengers with the Z, you see the regular Avengers. Now, I believe Marvel is lying to us here, maybe showing us some misdirection. There's some dead space in the frame you can kind of see next to Johnny, maybe next to Thor, like people are missing. We've seen in trailers past how Marvel edits out characters that maybe are there, or maybe puts characters there that aren't there in the actual movie. So I think this could be some misdirection. If you see in the far left, you see Sentry or Bob, his character. And I think there could be some other characters as well, like maybe Steve Rogers or Dr. Doom. We also see someone being handed a TVA card. Now, I believe this is Steve Rogers, and I'll explain why in just a second. But this is the Yggdrasil tree, or the World Tree, whatever you want to call it, from Loki Season 2. And I believe that Loki gave this card to Steve Rogers to either contact him or make him aware of something. Now, I believe the person that's holding that card is Steve Rogers. You can see here is the picture from one of the first teasers that we got. And this is Steve Rogers. And you can see the wedding ring there. On the front of that card, or the reverse side of it, you see Loki. I think this is Loki from Season 2. I'm not sure which point, maybe a time-displaced Loki. But I believe that is Loki. He gave Steve that card. And we're going to know more about Loki's motivation soon in the coming trailers. All right, let's talk about Robert Downey Jr. and his performance as Dr. Doom. Man, his accent is incredible. The voice of Doom is perfect. It doesn't sound anything like Tony Stark or Iron Man. It's just a great Eastern European accent. I think Robert Downey Jr. is going to be awesome in this performance as Dr. Doom. He's had a lot of time to spend with the character, a lot of time to work on the voice. I think it's going to be great. And of course, alongside Dr. Doom and Robert Downey Jr., we have Thor, Chris Hemsworth character, facing off against Dr. Doom. This is one of my favorite shots in the trailer. We see Thor using Stormbreaker, channeling the lightning throughout his body. And we see he learned his lesson against Thanos when Thanos said you should have gone for the head. We see this is exactly what Thor does in the next shot. goes straight for their head, but boom, Doctor Doom stops it with 2 fingers. Now we have to stop. We have to talk about this for a second. You can see Doctor Doom's wrist. That rune looks very familiar, right? As I said before, we know Doom is a magician. He is a sorcerer. So he could be using magic here to stop Stormbreaker, to stop Thor from doing any damage. I mean, he didn't even move. All he had to do was lift his hand. Now, we see before, during a light show that Marvel Studios has done in the past, it's the same rune here that Doctor Doom has on his wrist. Now, we don't know what kind of spell this is going to be. We don't know what kind of magic Doom is going to use specifically, but we know he's a magician, and we know he's going to be very powerful. So yeah, I'm so excited to see Doctor Doom and all of his magic, his power, and the performance we'll see. At the end of this trailer, we see Thor looking surprised when he sees a Steve Rogers. Now, a lot of fans have speculated who this person is. We see he summoned Mjolnir, so he is worthy. But is this the same Steve Rogers that we've seen from the MCU? I'm not sure. Honestly, the outfit, the way his eyes look, the smirk here, he looks like he could be evil. He looks like he could be Hydra Cap. Now, you're probably wondering, how could Hydra Cap, how could an evil version, an evil variant of Steve Rogers be worthy? Well, in the comic book run, written in 2016 by Nick Spencer, is a very controversial Marvel run. But in the comic book, it was explained that a cosmic cube was able to warp reality, basically changed and rewrote all of Steve Rogers' past, his history and everything. He was made to believe that he was a Hydra agent from a little kid. But because of reality warped, he was worthy. And the other main reason why a lot of Marvel fans are speculating that that is not the same Steve is because of this. This was the teaser that we got earlier in the year, and Steve Rogers was holding his child, his son, and he didn't have a beard. He just was holding his kid. He looked wholesome. So is that the same Steve? We don't know. Personally, I think Marvel is trying to use misdirection and make us think that he is Hydra Cap. We've heard rumors in the past of Marvel doing a Dark Avengers team or Captain Hydra or evil variants of the Avengers. Personally, I think it's, again, misdirection. I think they're trying to just trick us all to make us think he's Hydra Cap, but he's actually normal Captain America. Okay, let's speculate again. So, this is Doom, and I believe, like I said before, this is his wife and his son. And I think they're both dead. And the reason why is because of Steve Rogers. I believe that what Steve did back in Endgame by going back to live with Peggy and start a family with her, that he caused Doom's family to somehow be killed or somehow be placed out of time. And that is the reason why Loki had to give him the TVA card and either move him or put him in a safe place away from Doom or on a different universe. But who knows? Time will tell on that as we get more info about the movie. Overall, I think this was a great trailer. I love the music. I think it was very effective. Doom's voice, Thor's speech, I think it was all great. I'm going to do plenty of other videos and breakdowns on this trailer talking about specific aspects of it. Let me know if there was something I missed and something you caught that I didn't mention. We have San Diego Comic-Con coming up next, coming up this weekend, so we'll definitely be making videos talking about that. This has been Noble Effect. I'll catch y'all in the next one.